Reporting live from Charlotte's Spectrum Center after UNC's defeat at the hands of Texas A&M. I'm Ross Martin alongside Greg Barnes of Inside Carolina. Greg, where do we start? One of the most shocking defeats, I think, in UNC tournament history. I don't know if we're going to go that far, but your initial thoughts once the buzzer sounded.
Well, we can analyze a lot of games, and we do. We've done it for a long time. Sometimes it's easy, and I think today it was easy because coming into the game, North Carolina knew there was a size disadvantage against the Aggies, so they needed to be able to penetrate that zone, get some easy scores. They needed to be able to make some outside shots, and then they needed to be able to play good on the defensive end. And none of those things happened. Texas A&M shot over 50%. UNC shot 33%. They missed 17 in their first 18 three-pointers. And even right before halftime, they have that little alley-oop play to Sterling Manley. It's a layup. He misses it, and then you're kind of like, well, that's kind of what's happened all half. And then A&M makes two quick threes out of the second half, and it was essentially over at that point.
You thought down by 14 at half, UNC could make a run, maybe cut to single digits with 16 minutes to go. That never happened. Every shot was bested by another shot by Texas A&M. UNC couldn't get stops. They went 6 for 31 from three, 26 of 78 from the field. Texas A&M out-rebounded UNC 50 to 36. Just every angle, it was the perfect storm of a beatdown, and nothing worked for UNC. What do you think that Texas A&M did particularly well to just take UNC out of their game?
Well, I think kind of the turning point in the game was after Manley hit a turnaround jumper with about 12 minutes to play in the first half. Carolina had that 7-point lead. Billy Kennedy really started using that zone, which North Carolina just had no clue what to do against. And then on the other side, North Carolina had issues guarding Tyler Davis. I mean, it seemed like A&M came out of that timeout, and Davis was like, you know what, I'm going to dominate inside and see if Luke May or Garrison Brooks or Sterling Manley can contain me. And they couldn't, and there were several plays in a row there where he just imposed his will, and that seemed to light a fire under his teammates and said, hey, this is how we attack them. They can't stop us. And from there, everything just kind of started rolling, and North Carolina had no answer.
And it looked like early in the second half that the team, I don't want to say quit, but they knew what was coming. And that was the last game for Joel Berry and Theo Pinson. We talked to them emotional in the locker room. I think this is a different game if UNC knocks a couple more threes down in the first half. They had opportunities, they had open looks, they had inside looks with a couple players. With Garrison Brooks had some free shots from the free throw line, things like that. Nothing really clicked, and that's why we got the result we did. A big defeat for UNC in the second round of the tournament. In terms of legacy-wise, obviously it was an emotional scene with Joel Berry and Theo Pinson. Your takeaway from the locker room afterwards?
Yeah, locker rooms after losses are always tough, and I think in a game like this where North Carolina, I think everybody expected them to win this game. They knew it would be tough.
We booked our flights.
Right, exactly. And so you're thinking, okay, well, they'll at least get to L.A., and then once you get to L.A., anything can happen. And so it's abrupt. Every year that this happens is abrupt. Even the national championship game after they lost against Villanova, it was abrupt, even though that was kind of the end of the road. So I think it takes a few days to kind of process. Theo Pinson was at a loss for words, and that's something that we never see. And I think that kind of speaks to the harshness of it. But that's college sports. It's sports in general.
Yeah. So a complete beatdown. Texas A&M 86, UNC 65. The 2017-18 season comes to an end in Charlotte. For Inside Carolina, I'm Ross Martin alongside Greg Barnes.